For Monday, March 19th, 2018, this is the 7th update with 7.
Evening, y'all. This is the 7th level. This week, Nintendo released Update 5.0 for the Switch, which quickly bricked numerous consoles, particularly for users who have been using third-party docks. And if all this talk of third-party docking just gave you a boner, it's probably time to have that heart-to-heart with mom and dad you've been putting off. The existence of Shadow of the Tomb Raider was leaked this week, not uncoincidentally not too far from the release of the new Tomb Raider movie. Because announcing a new game so close to a shitty movie tie-in has worked wonders before. Puma Sneakers this week announced a special all-blue limited edition Sonic the Hedgehog sneaker. Shortly thereafter the announcement, Chris Chan was spotted leaving an Ace Hardware with an entire shopping cart full of red spray paint. Watch out for that mace, Foot Locker salesman. Retro gaming community mainstay Dreamcast Guy announced this week that he is horrible at anal sex. I have no punchline for this, so I just take a small bow. Nothing but hetero love for you, Max. It was announced this week that Far Cry 5 will run at 1800p on the Xbox One. True 4K indeed. If any of you in Florida just heard a really loud boom, fear not. Sonic Rev just broke the sound barrier, rushing his ex back to GameStop. Sega announced a special physical edition of Sonic Mania this week, less than a year after the collector's edition was released, which only came with a download code. A version that I purchased, I might add. New God of War footage leaked this week, prompting many Xbox fanboys to compare it to Rise Son of Rome, an Xbox One launch title. Because God knows there's never been a third-party action game with close quarters behind-the-shoulder crowd-control combat prior to Rise. Zaire, aka Next Gen 720, has jumped ship to the PS4 fanbase. A guy spends a year on one side, then suddenly jumps ship to the other side when he senses greater success. What's the worst that could possibly happen? Now don't get pissed at me, Trumpites. I didn't even vote. Emily Wants to Play 2 has been announced as a new release coming on April 24th. Because God knows that particular week, there's nothing that I would rather play than a sequel to a shit-ass indie horror game. This week, Microsoft announced plans to expand their cloud-based gaming initiative, including discussion about eventually making Game Pass available for other platforms, such as PlayStation and Nintendo. Excuse me.
I fucking told you so!
Thank you. The Kraken was revealed as a new upcoming feature for Sea of Thieves. The fact that Xbox fanboys actually think that this game is going to be the next Fortnite or PUBG is cracking me up. Cracking me up. No? No?
No.
No?
No.
Well, fuck you guys! I quit YouTube! I'm just kidding, guys. I could never quit you. Bad Company was announced this week as the next band to be featured on Rock Band 4. In other news, somebody actually bought Rock Band 4! They must feel like making love. Sega announced a new Best of Sega Genesis collection for the Xbox One, PS4, and PC. God damn, I'm getting tired of all these stupid fucking remasters. This week, Square Enix announced that Nier Automata has sold 2.5 million copies because Japanese RPGs are a niche market. Right, crap gamer? And finally, folks, this week marked the announcement of Tales of VR Cafe, a new virtual reality experience where weeboos can sit and have coffee with their precious waifus and husbandos. Meanwhile, in Japan, the Japanese Defense Force has announced that they're closing the streets of Akibahara in advance of the oncoming flood of otaku jizz. And that's all the gaming news that was fit to rip. As always, this is the 7th level. You guys know what to do. See you back next week, and show me your red, son!
The preceding batshit insanity was brought to you in part by donations from my supporters on Patreon. Go ahead, toss me $1 a month. What's the worst that could happen?